So now Droll and Lockbird is a problem? I feel like we come back to this all the time. You guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So I want to give a little bit of background here. Droll and Lockbird has been a central point of discussion for the last couple of days. I actually had somebody come onto my stream on Monday night and go, Robbie, do you think Droll and Lockbird needs to be banned? You know, the card's busted right now. I'm like, no, it really isn't, in my opinion. Well, Robbie, it stops your opponent from playing the game. And, you know, floodgates that do that are genuinely bad for the game. And you think that summoning 33 times in a turn to do an entire hand rip away from my hand is also fair? I don't get this. We once again go back to that realm of combo players think that they are the hottest thing ever. All right, these duelists think that they can get away with doing whatever they want. And when a legitimate floodgate exists in the game to actually detour them from doing like these crazy full combo plays, looking at you Dark World players, you know you're the ones that summon 33 times in a turn. I know y'all have the Nibiru proofness that's going on out here. You can do all the bounce ability. If you're going to make cards not once per turn, then having a counter in the format like Droll and Lockbird to counteract these interactions, I think is fine. But why now? Why is it every time, you know, we cycle through a format where, you know, Droll might not have the craziest level of impact here, but, you know, when Droll kind of stops a rogue player's turn, let's be honest here at this point in time, like, if you Droll a purely player, okay, I mean, you're inconveniencing them a wee little bit. If you Droll a Castura player, oh no, they can't full combo. I mean, their deck's already ahead of the curve as it is, but I mean, you also have to remember, for the Ice Hearts on the field, you can't, you know, do certain hand traps anyway. So, I mean, it's got inherent outs to it in itself. And trust me, I've been Drolled playing Runic countless times, right? Yeah, it just stops my turn and I'll just play on your turn. Like, there are ways around this, all right? And to sit here and go, I think Droll and Lockbird needs to be banned, this card is so broken. We don't have Max C. We don't have other cards to have a force stop button on the game. And if you remove Max C from the equation, or excuse me, if you remove Droll and Lockbird from the format, you are just opening up the door to, once again, the floodgate crazy turbo 33, you know, wow, this is so fun, you know, at least if I opened up Droll, I can play the game. And I don't get that. Why does the solitaire mentality continue to echo through the chambers of this game? What brings people to this mentality? Now, I also recently saw some poll data that was showing up discussing this, and I believe I saw, what was it? It was a split between Leave It Unlimited and a split between Ban It. It was very close. And then you had the occasional people that were like, well, you know, limit it to 1 or semi-limit it. And honestly, if you're going to limit Droll to 1, I feel like you're just hurting the chance. You're lowering down the consistency of seeing the card. And let's be honest, most of the time that we see Droll and Lockbird enter into a format, it's because things are so batshit crazy in the format, or, you know, it needs to exist in order to slow down things. Droll does rotate out of formats, just like Nibiru. All right, these, I mean, DD Crow also is a rotating piece as well. Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill is another example of a hand trap that's kind of started to rotate on in here and have a place in the format, but Droll's not here every single day. So I can't fathom it or understand it now. I have a video filmed talking about Dark World and how the deck is inherently super unfair at the end of the day. And honestly, I think Droll and Lockbird is one of the biggest stopping points to that strategy. And I mean, okay, you can make the argument that, you know, Dark World's a brick deck, you know, it's fine, but decks that start hand ripping are an issue. And it's been proven time and time again that Konami does not like, you know, these hand rip decks. Let's all talk about a Pointer of the Red Lotus here. We all know that getting into those guts and, you know, clearing things out of there, not exactly what Konami wants. Hand knowledge is crazy. Forceful Century, other things. Now, I mean, this doesn't give you any inherent advantage of just shaving cards off of the opponent's hand, but if you're shaving 6 cards off your opponent's hand with the Cerulean Silverloop, there's a reason why on Master Duel, this garbage was also hit as well. And they didn't hit Droll and Lockbird on Master Duel, did they? They just went after Silva. So, why now? I don't understand it. I don't get what the argument is about Droll anymore. I don't get it. I would almost say that Droll and Lockbird is the TCG's equivalent to Maxi. It's a necessary evil that has to exist because we don't actually have Maxi. You know, instead of generating a huge spin through of advantage and, you know, getting all these free cards off your opponent attempting to play the game, you simply just hit the stop it button. You do have the inherent -1 of Droll leaving the hand. And I mean, there have been times where I've seen people get Drolled and it did absolutely nothing. The opponent was able to set up a board and play through it. It's actually not that uncommon at the end of the day. I just feel like this is another one of those, we're angry about this week. And, you know, how dare you, Droll and Lockbird? You know, sometimes you wake up on the wrong side of the bed. You stare at Droll and Lockbird. You know, you've been in a committed relationship to Droll and Lockbird for 10 years. And, you know, you're just like, I can't do this anymore. You know, we've had good memories. But, you know, last night when you did the thing with, you know, the deck, it didn't do it for me anymore. And you're like, I need a divorce. And that's what I feel like. You know, Droll's a fantastic card. Some of these people that complain about Droll, they're the same people that use this card. They're the same people that abuse it. But when it gets used against them, they're like, no, I don't like this. This is BS. How dare this happen? Please tell me, comment section. All my viewers out here, if you're watching this, can you tell me why Droll and Lockbird is a problem right now? Can you tell me why it is every other single week that we have a discussion on something in this community that is suddenly broken when it's actually not? Looks at Eradicator Epidemic Virus. Look at EV at this point in time. You know, EV still, it's a problem, but I got EEV twice last week at locals, and I won one of the games, and I'm playing a Runic. You want to tell me how that's possible? Alright, just get good. Majesty Fiend's a good card. Alright, but at the end of the day, you just play around it. You know, I keep using Dark World as the primary example in this video, but if you play around it, obviously Dark World can't, but, you know, something like Kashtira can. To be fair, Kashtira inherently bricks on itself 95% of the time as it is, and maybe it was a random Kashtira player that started this entire argument. You know, maybe they're like, oh, you know, I'm already playing the best deck. How dare you have the one out that actually cuts me off? I don't physically get it. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. All right. Once again, back to EEV. I still think the card's fine. Yeah, who cares if Labyrinth can sit it? I actually watched one of our locals. Guy actually eradicated his opponent. Guy only played one spell in his entire deck, and he called spell. Guess what? That was an inherent -2. You need to know when to actually use certain cards and applications to maximize the best value that you can for these sorts of things. And I'm going to put it in the same category as Droll here too. There's a lot of matchups where Droll is just absolutely awful, and there's not really much that you can do about it at the end of the day. You know, these offshoot matchups that you look at and you're like, wow, this is absolutely terrible. You know, why are we complaining about this? I get it's the absolute stop authority that you get with the Droll that people deem as the problem, because cards that absolutely shut you out of the game are frowned upon. And it is what it is at this point in time. I don't have a problem with Droll. If you're playing a deck that loses to Droll, I mean, you got outed. All right, there's combo variants. I also think that people that think that taking, you know, 20-minute turns to summon, you know, 69 monsters, and, you know, perform this super cool combo to fully hand rip you, losing to the Droll is, I think that's fine. You put the time and investment into the deck, you're willing to do these crazy combo extension plays, I don't see anything wrong with that. And I will always be on this side of the argument, because having necessary evils, just like having, you know, floodgates in back row, you know, they might inconvenience people, but they're one more aspect of the game you have to play around. It's not like you don't have Crossout Designator and Call by the Grave. You have 4 anti-cards. And you know what? People are playing the Crossout Designator right now. All right, if you're worried about it, step up, play the Crossout. Play the out to the problem. It does exist. People are doing it. And if you're complaining about it without trying to play the counterpoint, then what in the world is going on? Guys, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. And yeah, another meme, another day. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.